What's up everyone, Action Jackson here, and in this video I'll be giving a proper, as close as possible, power scaling for the 7 Deadly Sins verse character Meliodas. I'll be going over how fast he is in terms of raw speed and attack potency based off the anime and manga. So yes, this video will contain manga spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, please click off the video. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Meliodas is the captain of the strongest order of knights to ever exist, called the 7 Deadly Sins. The order name comes from Roman Catholic theology and explains them as vices that spur other sins and further immoral behavior. These 7 sins are vainglory or pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. These 7 sins are given to each knight of the order, and their personality personifies each sin. Meliodas is seen as the sin of wrath, as he is shown to not be able to withhold his anger and has to eventually seal off his emotions in order to prevent himself from basically self-destructing in anger, like he did previously in Danafor, and succumbing to his past demon self. It is explained that before Meliodas became a deadly sin, he was a part of a demon clan called the 10 Commandments. Each commandment held a special ability or curse that if you fall accustomed to it, dealt great consequences. Back then, Meliodas was the most feared and ruthless, murdering countless amounts of angels. Even the archangels and fellow 10 Commandments were afraid of fighting and confronting him. Eventually, this all changes when Meliodas meets Elizabeth, who was an angel, and falls in love with her. Their love was forbidden by the leaders of each race, and they were eventually struck down from their position, and each of them were cursed with different types of immortality. Every time Meliodas dies, he gets brought back to life, losing his feelings and emotions, and slowly reforming back to his old ruthless self. And Elizabeth's curse is that every time she dies, she loses all memories of Meliodas and is reborn into another body. But she eventually will regain her memories, and even then she has 3 days to live before she undeniably will die and lose her memories again. That's just a short summary of Meliodas' character background. Now in this video, I'm not going to be going by their power levels too much, because just because someone has a higher power level than their opponent doesn't mean they're certain to win. It's just to gauge who is most likely to win. For example, someone with a relatively low power level but super hacks magic can beat someone with a high power level if they don't have a good way to fight. So now that that's out the way, let's start off with speed. In the beginning of the anime and manga, Meliodas starts off as casually reflecting Gil Thunder's lightning attack, called Lightning Beast Chase, where he summons a lightning bolt formed directly from the clouds and reshapes it as a form of a creature. Since the lightning, like I stated previously, is formed directly from the clouds, we can use the average velocity of lightning and also using pixel scaling to measure the distance between the attack and Meliodas. Doing this, we come to the result of Meliodas' reaction speed being at least 886,711.568 milliseconds, or Mach 2,607.97, which will put Meliodas at massively hypersonic plus. This is also kind of a lowball because it's been shown that Gil Thunder can amp the speed and power of his lightning via magic, but it is unquantifiable how much he can amp it. So just to be on the safe side, we'll just use the average velocity of lightning. Now for time's sake purposes, let's fast forward later in the story where the 10 Commandments become unsealed and face off against the 7 Deadly Sins. By this time, Meliodas has received multiple amps and power boosts from after his power is restored. First, he faces off against 10 Commandment member Galen. Most people have Galen's reaction speed at Mach 1921. This is an extreme low ball. Most scouts use the distance between Leonis and Camelot to find out his speed. However, it has been shown many times that Merlin covers that distance at the minimum, and the official translation doesn't limit her casting to only Leonis and Camelot. She has been shown to be able to teleport people to places with different time zones and climate zones, like for example, what she did against Vivian. The official translation says that Galen leaps several miles outside of her magic sphere of influence and escape. Several miles, according to Google, is more than 2, but not many. The calc I'm using goes by the smallest several can be, which is 3. Also, Britannia, which is the setting the story takes place in, is based off real-world Britannia, so we will use the official map to determine the distance between Leonis and Camelot. Since the distance is 367 miles and he leaped at the lowest 3 miles, we will say he leaped at least 370 miles in 0.47 seconds, which 0.47 seconds is how long it took for Meliodas to hit the floor. Calculating all this up, it will give us a speed of 1,386,775.1489 milliseconds, or Mach 3,694. This means that Meliodas is at least multiple times faster than that, since him in base form easily outsped and blitzcussed Galen. Since there isn't any other real concrete feats after that fight against Galen, the rest will be him scaling off of characters that are presumably stronger and faster than Galen, like Zeldris or Esterosa. Just so the video isn't too long, I'll be going over Meliodas' high speed feat so far. By the end of that arc is when the anime ends, and now we'll be talking about the manga. Meliodas' highest speed feat in the manga is when he faces off against Demon King Zeldris. In the manga, the Demon King and Meliodas face off in an epic battle to determine the fate of the world. In the battle, Meliodas and the Demon King are shown basically blitzing lightning as stated in the battle wiki. And if you do the equation S equals D divided by T, or speed equals distance divided by time, and also using pixel scaling to figure out the distance between the lightning and the Demon King, we are given that Meliodas' reaction speed is at least 135,373,333.655 milliseconds, which is relativistic plus, or like around 50% the speed of light. Now onto attack power. In the beginning of the anime, Meliodas in base form is shown destroying the kingdom Danafor after Elizabeth's death by screaming viciously, letting out all of his pent-up rage and engulfing the kingdom in darkness. Using calcs and pixel scaling again, this feat will output around 3.3 gigatons of force, which is low-balled large mountain level plus. And high-balled, assuming Danafor and Leonis is equal in size, will be 70 gigatons of force, which is island level plus. Later in the anime, after multiple power boosts, he overpowers two Ten Commandment members, Gloxinia and Drove, which shows his increase in strength. There's not really that much strength feats in the anime, but the manga tends to show more. Now on to the manga. Meliodas' first new feat in the manga is when he effortlessly destroyed Belascula's Dark Cocoon, which is as strong to withstand attacks even from Zeldris, who is on the same level if not stronger than Sario and Tamio. Tamio is able to create large oceans, which is low-balled to take around 9.28 to the 20 joules of force to create, which is at least a large island level feat. Later on in the manga, Meliodas turns into his old self that was the Ten Commandment leader and was given the title Assault Mode Meliodas. While in Assault Mode, it is stated that Mel, who is the strongest Archangel, and Meliodas are equals, which will make him at least small country level via power scaling. After this occurs, Meliodas fights numerous battles, and after successfully resisting being possessed by the Demon King, he now finds himself being so powerful that he can no longer exist on Earth, but to live life in purgatory instead. This will make Meliodas at most multi-continental level, since it is shown that the storms are taking place outside of Britannia and the whole world is falling apart. Just because the world is basically fucking ending though, doesn't mean he's a planet buster. Me truly highballing to the most highest he can get, he will be multi-continental. So to sum up this video, I have Meliodas' speed in the anime being at least massively hypersonic plus, based off scaling from Galen's feet and calcs. And in the manga, he is relativistic plus, or around 50% the speed of light. In attack potency in the anime, I would say Meliodas is at least island level plus, highballed. And in the manga, him being utmost rank to the extreme rankest you can get, multi-continental level. But yeah, that does it for this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you disagree with anything, make sure you let me know so we can debate about it, and I will more than happily accept your concessions. But yeah, that wraps up this video. Peace.